Hello, everyone. My name is Manuel Michiano. Welcome to my program once again. And I'm going to talk about SDLC, which stands for Software Development Lifecycle. It is a process used by the software industry to design, develop, and produce high-quality software with the lowest cost and shortest time possible. There are some team members that work inside the SDLC system to facilitate the project. One of the first ones is the planner, which is one of the most important aspects of the phase because it reduces the uncertainty by estimating the budget of the project and by helping to avoid unnecessary risk. The second phase of the project is the analyst, who is pretty much a bridge between the customers and the stakeholders, such as the project managers, the team leaders, and such and such. They talk to the customers to know their needs, and they convey that message to the team in order to facilitate the customers' needs. The third aspect of the faith is the designer. Takes the information from the customer and designs an answer to the solution of their problem. This is where you think about the solution rather than the problem itself by producing diagrams, documents, and prototypes. The fourth is the development stage, is where you construct the system that's something the customer can use. The fifth phase is the testing, and it's one of the most important aspects of the life cycle also, because everything has to be tested before it's deployed and before it's given to the customer, so that it would stop the errors and the bugs, the defects, if there are any, and you verify the system by always testing. You always have to test the system. After that, you deploy it. Your project is finished, and you hand it back to the customer to receive any feedback, what they may be. And you taste it at that time also to see if the customer likes the finished product or not. The seventh phase of the life cycle is the maintenance. That helps the customer use it to the best of their abilities and respond to every nuances that the customer might have, and relieve them of their stress, by communicating through emails, training them, calling them, getting the updates from the customers, and making sure that the customers are satisfied. Because if you don't really have a satisfied customer, then you yourself, you might not be employed. So when you think you're done, not so fast, because it's the name itself, hence the name itself, it's life cycle, where things go round and round and round and round. The project doesn't end because you have to maintain it. It might end if you no longer if you don't have the client. But as far as you have the client, then you would have the work itself. There are some examples of SDLC. There are some methodology that we use in the workforce. And one of them is the waterfall models. This method is pretty much the oldest and most straightforward. With this methodology, we finish one phase, and then we start another one. And then you wait for the next one, which really makes it very difficult because the waiting, you have to wait for for the analyst to finish before the developer starts the project. So it's not really an easy way of doing things, but it can be done. But it's technology phase right now. The second way of doing the life cycle is called the agile model. It separates a product into cycles and delivers a working product very quickly. Pretty much quite the opposite of the waterfall model. It produces a succession of releases, testing of each release, feedback, information into that incorporated, and the next version. The third one is iterative model. It emphasizes repetition. I mean, you do it over and over again. Developers create a version very quickly and for relatively little cost of money, and then test and improve it through rapid and successive versions. Pretty much, I mean, you're doing the things over and over again. And the fourth one is the V-shaped model, an extension of the waterfall model. A test at each stage of the development is pretty much, I mean, you taste every cycle. Uh, in waterfall, like I said earlier, you just finish with one cycle and then you start with another. But this one, you taste at each stage, what makes it a lot easier than the waterfall. The fifth one is the Big Bang model. This high risk SDLC model throws most of its resources at development and works best for small projects. I mean, make sure that you're doing very small projects because it's very risky and it's time consuming. I mean, you don't really want to waste your time, so you're better off doing small projects with the Big Bang model. The sixth one is a spiral model, and this is the most flexible of the SDLC models. It is very similar to the iterative model and its emphasis on repetition. The spiral model goes through the planning, design, build, and test phases over and over and over again, with gradual improvements at each pass. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you soon.